Hi everybody and welcome to Australian Mining for New Starters. Today's best shot question is, why are the hard rock employers having to hire so many new starters? Why isn't the experience around? So the reason is that back in 2012 we had a downturn, and in that downturn we lost a whole generation of miners that didn't come back when the mines started to open back up in 2016. So once you've got a very thin amount of people to choose from already, and you get more mines opening up, you just have to hire new starters, and that normally manifests itself in the lower paying jobs. So if you come over to the sponsors website and have a look under new starters, pay rates and rosters. So we lost a lot of people out of the third tier, so jumbo operators, shift bosses and foremans. A lot of people go and work overseas as well, and so what ends up happening is that people come up through the first, the entry level roles, so nipper, diamond drill offside, a truck. Service crew can and can't be. Some companies do treat it as entry level, some companies don't. It just depends on which company you apply for. But the point is that these are the lowest paid jobs on the crew. So when the industry is expanding, these are the jobs that the new starters get. So if you can get yourself up to speed and knowing what's going on in these jobs, and if you can show the employer you understand how their mine works and what's going to be expected of you as a nipper or a truck driver or an offsider, then you've got something to offer the employer. And that's the whole point behind the sponsors training, is to give you that information. But that's why the employers have had to hire new starters. And once you start going into a growth period like we are at the moment in Hardrock Underground, with a lot of mines opening back up again in nickel and gold, that thin layer of experience doesn't go very far in between mines. So at the moment, one of the guys that got on last year as a nipper, he's already moved himself up into a charge up role. He's starting his training on charge up now, and it just goes to show you how quickly you can move up through the ranks at the moment in the industry, purely because there is no experience. Everybody that knows anything about hard rock underground mining that wants a job has got a job, and that's why they're still having to hire new starters in these lower paying jobs. Now, when the industry goes into a downturn, they don't hire new starters for these lower paying jobs. They'll take experienced people for it. But because we're in an upswing, and we're in a huge upswing regarding gold, and if you flip over, you can have a look that gold's well over $2,500 an ounce. This means that there's going to be lots of activity with people ramping up their current underground mines and kicking off new underground mines. And it's really where the growth area of the industry is. And as more mines open up, the already thin amount of experience gets thinner, and more people that they need into the industry. And that's why the employers are having to be hiring new starters. And one of the other reasons is that they go through a few before they find people that last, and that can be for a number of different reasons. But they tend to go through new starters in the first 6 months. So just be aware of that when you get yourself into the industry. Getting the job is part of the challenge, but you've got to make it past your first 6 months of your first job. That's the real challenge and the real benchmark of moving forward with your career, is doing that 6 months, so you can say that you've got 6 months under your belt, so you can move on to your next job. So I hope people found that information helpful. If you've got any questions that you want answered from the Best Shot series, just let me know. Apart from that, like and subscribe to the channel. Thanks.